New Yorkers of all walks of life love a cheap, filling lunch of falafel, a deep-fried ball of mashed chickpeas, herbs, and spices. Today, you can get a falafel plate or sandwich at food carts and restaurants all over the city. But 50 years ago, there was only one spot in New York to try falafel, and that was Mamoun's.
This is probably the best falafel I've had in New York. It's not easy to say, but it's true.
We came here because we knew that our trip wouldn't be complete without having some falafels here. This is amazing. Hey, I'm Medha, and we're here at Mamoun's Falafel in Greenwich Village on the historic McDougal Street. New Yorkers highly recommend Mamoun's Falafel for its authentic taste and rich history. So today we're going to try some of the falafels ourselves, meet with the owner, and learn about the history of Mamoun's.
Tucked in between the world-famous Comedy Cellar and Cafe Reggio, Mamoun's Falafel has been cooking up its falafel sandwiches since 1971.
It's a very traditional recipe, but it's done right. So it tastes really fresh, it tastes really good, and I think the falafel itself is the best in the city.
Family owned and operated since the beginning, the restaurant helped popularize falafel by serving musicians, actors, comedians, tourists, and loyal customers all on McDougal Street for over 48 years. But how did Mamoun's go from a small hole-in-the-wall operation to a franchise with 10 locations? It all started in a cramped apartment kitchen of a struggling immigrant. Mamoun and Maria Chother immigrated to New York from Syria in 1969 and started refining his mother's falafel recipe after working at several restaurants to make ends meet.
Where my family comes from, in Syria, falafel's sort of like just regular sort of street food. It's almost taken for granted over there.
That's Jalal Chother. He's one of the 4 sons of Mamoun himself. Jalal and his brothers took over the falafel business in 1991.
We don't mess with the recipe at all. Like, where my dad left it is where it's going to stay because it's delicious.
In 1971, Mamoun opened his first storefront on McDougal Street, the same location they occupy today, and served his falafel on makeshift tables with buckets as seats.
McDougal Street's always been like a famous block. I mean, in the 50s you had the Beat Movement and Jack Kerouac. In the 60s you had Jimi Hendrix, Bob Dylan, all that. In the 70s, falafel came. So I think we added to the pantheon of what makes McDougal Street both unique and special.
In the 1970s, a new wave of Syrian, Lebanese, and Arab immigrants came to the United States after the passage of the 1965 Immigration and Nationality Act, which lifted post-World War II immigration quotas. With this wave came Mamoun Chother, founder of Mamoun's Falafel, as well as a larger Arab presence in the village.
You know, there were people who would speak Arabic out on the street, and my brother learned Arabic from working in the store. I learned it too. You know what I mean? My dad really believes in being a good host and really giving from the heart. And so when he would feed people, it was genuine, you know, and people would love that. But I think that's what started the buzz, really. You know what I mean? You gotta go see the Syrian guy who's like serving food, this awesome food out of a 200 square foot restaurant.
Word spread, and soon Mamoun's became known as a best cheap eat, and its falafel sandwich, famous.
The most popular menu item is by far a falafel sandwich. That's 2-to-1 ratio for everything else that we serve combined. It's simple, it's elegant, and it tastes fantastic.
Mamoun's falafel sandwiches are all vegetarian, made out of pita bread layered with hummus, their signature falafel, lettuce, tomatoes, and topped with tahini sauce. But before the falafel hit the counters at restaurants,
They start right here in Newark, New Jersey at their very own commissary. Let's take a look inside of Mamoun's Falafel's facility.
We have a 10,000 square foot facility here where we produce the falafel, the hummus, the baba ganoush, our main items. And we have processes in check to make sure that the quality and everything meets our standards.
Mamoun's legendary falafel recipe starts with parsley, lots and lots of parsley. It's mixed with chopped onions and garlic and combined with a carefully weighed batch of chickpeas, the key ingredient to falafel. The herbs and chickpeas are ground up, then get mixed with a special array of spices, including cumin, turmeric, and cardamom. This batter is then ground once more and finally pushed out into individual packets, which are boxed and ready for shipment.
What set our falafel apart, if you go to the Middle East, falafels are mostly chickpeas. They're not as green, and that's a comment we get from all of our Israeli customers or our Arabic customers. Oh, your falafel's so green. And that was the addition we did to the falafel market, where we added the extra herbs and spices here.
From the commissary, the falafel batter heads to one of 10 locations. While the batter is prepared off-site at the facility, the falafel are freshly fried at each restaurant, where lines of people await the savory and crispy taste of the Middle Eastern dish.
The falafel is probably one of the best I've ever had. Honestly, the consistency is great. It's nice and crispy on the outside, nice and moist on the inside, so a lot to love from it.
The hummus here is amazing. The falafel is perfectly fried. 100% recommendation.
With all the customers showering the food with compliments, I couldn't wait any longer and had to try the legendary falafel sandwich myself.
So what I noticed what they were doing at Mamoun's Falafel is that they actually smashed down each of the pieces of falafel into the sandwich. So each bite that you're taking with this falafel sandwich, you'll have a bit of the falafel. So you're not gonna be like duped by having just like a piece of pita bread and none of the falafel with it. So here I go. This is exactly what I wanted in a falafel sandwich. I usually don't like tomatoes, but the thing with Mamoun's I just noticed is that their tomatoes are really fresh, and they just add more to the flavor of this falafel sandwich. And the falafel itself did not let me down. It actually has a really good consistency to it. Really, for $4, this is a great deal.
What makes this place special to me is I grew up here. You know, my brothers grew up here, and it was always a family sort of endeavor. We want to see how far we can sort of take the name, and that's really what's most important to us, is just sort of making his name grow and, you know, spreading the food and the love across the country.
Yes, I'm gonna keep eating. I'm gonna finish this.